Alright, good afternoon folks, welcome back to Wilderness Wargaming. Previous video, I was going to show you the different kinds of weapons you can use on the Battle Sister Inquisitor in the video game Inquisitor Martyr, but I didn't because it would probably made the video pretty ridiculously long. It was already a little longer than I wanted it to be. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and talk today about different weapon setups you can use. Now I don't have one of literally everyone, but we're going to go through a nice selection so you can get a good idea of them. So we're in orbit here over Lacayon 6, and we're going to do this Tainted Rebel Guard mission here. It's the same level as we are, so we will use this one as our example mission.
Priority purge protocols initiated and being observed. Noospheric data streams are thrice encrypted and set to optimal flow. Good hunting.
Alright, so now that she's done talking, let's take our look at our first weapon, the Flamer, which we showed in the intro video. Now, just once again, we'll go over the console down here. So we have the Inoculator over here. This is your healing item. This is your health in here, and this is suppression around the outside, which is how resistant you are, basically, to enemy fire suppressing you, much like you suppress in real life. This is the tab button, switch weapons. So we can go to the chainsword Melta, or chainsword Inferno pistol if we want to. And then these are our 4 flame abilities. Left mouse button is the basic flame cone. This is a fear. It has some crowd control effect because it not only hits enemies in a code, it generates fear, causes them to run away from you. Then the disengaging stream. This one allows you to back off automatically while firing it. About as damaged as the main one, but backs you up away from it. I actually end up using this one more often than the main cone. Then the Scorched Earth. This one basically launches like a fireball that knocks back enemies, suppresses them. You may notice it's far lower damage per second than the other ones. Its main effect is its crowd control, and then the Phosphorus Splash. This is like a long-range bomb attack. Now, notice that these are left mouse button, right mouse button, 1, 2, and then number 3 is our deflector shield over here. And number 4 is the tactical jump that comes from the Seraphim armor. I'm also going to show you the specials for the other 2 types of armor real quick. So let's go over here and take a look. We got a couple of components up here. So see what each of these looks like. Okay, alright, there we go. So we'll start off with the flame cone. There we go. Now this is the backing off cone. Notice that I'm walking backwards with it. There's our knockback one. Okay, and there's the Phosphorus Splash that we used on the big guy there.
For the Emperor.
We'll finish this guy off. Okay. Well, we found a Blessed Blade around. I think I already had one of those. Okay, now you may have noticed down here there was this orange bar filling up. That's the heat bar. Since the Flamer is a heat weapon, it overheats. It isn't just plasma weapons. They have the overheat effect. That's as opposed to, say, guns like bolt guns or sniper rifles or whatever. They will use ammo, and they will deplete as you go through. So 2 different mechanics. Now let's try out our other hand here. We have a chainsword and a Inferno pistol. And this one has, of course, the basic chainsword attack, and then has 3 pistol attacks. This one is just a single target beam. You can hold it down and keep firing this. This is the one that spins around in a circle, Inferno Pirouette, and blasts everything in a circle. I really like that ability a lot. And this is the Inferno Beam. The basically like your heavy, almost like an anti-tank shot. So let's go up here, and I'm also going to try to show the tactical jump with the armor here. Okay, so we'll go up here, and this is the melee attack with the chainsword. Chainsword is pretty effective. See, it actually does hit in an area. We're hitting all these little guys around us just using the chainsword. And then if I fire, this is the second, that's the right mouse click ability, the continuous stream. Just melt these guys. Notice how quickly that builds up our heat down here. If we find some additional opponents, there's a little bit of money. We can go ahead and take a look at the other two abilities. So what we can do is, oh, here's a nice cluster. So we're going to try this. We're going to try to over here and jump into the middle of them and then spin. That's the spinning attack. And then that's the beam there. The number 2 ability. The right click and the number 2 ability are really quite similar. And what you can do is you can combo that jump, then the spin, then switch back to the flamer and drop your other 2 AoEs and really drop a lot of AoE in one area. That's one of the reasons I really like this setup. Now let's go down here and let's switch to 2 other weapons. So we'll try out the more damage. We'll try this a little more damage. This is the chainsword bolt pistol. And on set number 1, try out the Melta gun. Okay, so we'll start out with the chainsword and the bolt pistol. We've got the Eviscerate. Basically, it's standard, a sustained melee attack, fully automatic. That's like firing the bolt pistol like a machine gun. Assault leap. This is very similar to our armor leap, so we could double leap. Now, this would be great on other armor because we could leap even without the armor ability. And then Whirlwind of Retribution, long range spinning attack. So let's try these out. Yeah, let me find a favor here. So here we go. Okay. There's our assault leap. If we just slash, it deals with these guys pretty easily. We've got a Bulgrin. Let's try our slashing attack on him. Okay, and now we'll try our Whirlwind. There's our Whirlwind. That did quite a bit. Okay. And that's the full auto fire, the right mouse click. I'll jump in there again. Yep, got him. Reborn Warlock. Ooh, that's not great. Okay. Yeah, finish this little group up here. Gobblers. I don't know what gobblers are. They're ratlings, maybe, that are corrupted. Alright, so now we're going to switch over to the Melta gun here. Here's our Melta gun. Now, Melta gun, we have the single shot, this regular old blast with Melta gun. The Melta blast. This is more like a little bit of a crowd control one. Melta gun. This one is really good against big targets. It also looks good. It has like a purple beam. And then this is like a channeled one for single targets. So let's try these out. Okay, here we go. A regular Melta gun. Okay. Now, that's a blast. That's the crowd control one. Now, unfortunately, that has a really long cooldown, which is kind of a pain for a right-click ability. Okay, there's the purple one, the anti-armor, and then there's the channeled. That is, yeah, just melt the heck out of that guy. Channel him. Okay. We got one more target over here. Let's take one more look at that crowd control. That is a really effective, devastating crowd control blast. You could do this with the flamer and then have tons and tons of crowd control and AoE if you wanted to do no melee and all ranged. I don't. I'm heavily into melee. That's what the Melta gun is like. So let's take a note. Now let's take a look at 2 more. We'll go ahead and try out the plasma gun since we're doing big guns. And on the other set, let's go ahead and try out the plasma pistol and brazier. Okay, now let me show you something real quick here. Notice that fleur-de-lis on the right, on the number 2 ability. That means we're going to get one of our Sister Faith abilities in there. Okay, so we've got Divine Grace. This is a big energy shield. It's much more powerful than the little deflector shield. So I'm going to show you that here in just a second. Okay, we got Scorched Earth. These are all your plasma gun abilities. The rod, you don't actually do anything with. It's just the pistol. This is really not ideal for me because I'm so heavily invested in a melee, and this is technically all ranged. But we're going to try it out anyhow. Okay, so we just blast away with the pistol. Now, watch this. Boom, that gigantic shield comes up. Ooh, it's a little, not as much, but notice that was much bigger than the other shield. Now, I'm struggling a little bit because I don't have the benefit of all my my melee perks with this setup. This one is not ideal for me. I think what I need to do is focus down a couple of these. Oh, man, yeah, blasting right through my shields there. Oh no, they got me. Yeah, see, that's one of the dangers of using a non-optimal weapon ability. Okay, but let's go ahead and switch over to the plasma gun. Now this one is long range shot. Well, I'm going backwards. Single shot, long range. This is a short little burst of plasma, which is pretty good against. But it's notice that these are single target. Okay. Focus bolt. This is your armor piercing ability, and then this one has an area effect. So this is primarily a single target weapon. Let's go ahead and go up here and find some opponents to test this thing out on. Okay, I don't know if I want to tangle with the big bad there when I don't have any melee weapons equipped. Yeah, okay. Alright, so we'll start off. There's my burst, and then we'll blast this bulldog here. Oh, yikes.
The moment of retribution is here.
Okay, and that was our heavy hit there. Oh boy. Yeah, let's get the heck out of there. I'm going to switch to the. So I have the melee weapon here. Because I am so heavily spec'd into melee that I should have been a little bit more cautious about my weapon selection there. No. Let's get him. Okay. Okay, so there's our plasma. I mean, there's our triple shot. This is our primary fire. That's our anti-armor shot. It's not very spectacular visually. And there's our area effect one. The plasma gun is now the plasma gun is not a weapon sisters normally have access to in the tabletop. The sisters do have access to plasma pistols, but not to plasma guns. So that is not one you'd normally find. Okay, so let's switch that out. We're going to change that out since we're melee. We're going to try out the greatsword here. Okay, and the greatsword is a two-handed weapon. We'll try that one out along with the Blessed Blade and Rod. Okay, so Onslaught. This is your cone effect melee. This affects a number of targets. And then your Blade Dash. This is both a mobility and it says single target, but it just basically closes. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's get our shield up there again. Yeah, okay, if we get down those buildings, we're okay. Get our shield back up there again. Now notice there's a very long cooldown on that. I didn't quite click my calculator in time.
Once more, Inquisitor, my calculations give you some chance of success for this one last try.
Okay. And then you get Ardent Onslaught. This gives you enrage tokens. I don't remember exactly how enrage works off there, but basically they buff you up. I believe you burn the tokens off in the process of using them after they buff you. And I believe these can be switched out at the Faith terminal on board the starship. Okay, So we've looked at that, though. Let's look at the greatsword. Okay, this is a pretty good weapon for me because of my melee build. Okay, so we've got a regular blade for a combo weapon. Gives good critical hits. Wide check. This is a cone attack. This is a single target, high damage. And this is another single area. So you have two basically regular offensive single targets, and one that is, and two that are area effect. I'm gonna try this out here. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, he went down pretty easy. Okay, oh, another Infernal Pistol Chainsword. I do like that a lot. That Infernal Pistol Chainsword combo. I really wish I could find it with the Blessed Blade. That would be even better. Okay, so let's go up here. We've got a lot of opponents. Okay, so single target, slash, 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 and then there's the big single target. And that takes them now. Now, get a bunch of opponents around us. There's the spinning attack. And then we can use our area effect. I really, really hate these gun turrets. I guess I got that one. Commander, okay. Okay, we got one of our targets. So we got one target down. Take these rest of these guys out. Now we're going to try out the hand flamer and rod combo. And because I want to make sure that I have a melee weapon, well, next we'll try out the Eviscerator. Now this is the Repentia's weapon, and normally regular Battle Sisters cannot have it. They used to in old editions, so they can't now. Which to me is very strange because weirdly, Assault Space Marines can. No other kind of Space Marine, or even Chaos doesn't have it. But okay, here we'll get in here with the Eviscerator. Got some area effect here. That's a charge. That's the number 1 ability, and then the spin. 0, quick inoculate. The Eviscerator is a little bit slow, which is not surprising. It's supposed to be a slow weapon in the tabletop, and that is because it's unwieldy and dangerous to use. So we have our regular Eviscerate, single target, wide strike. That's your effect, obviously. So this is your cone. You move forward and slash and get everything in a cone, and then there's your circles. That's pretty effective. Now, if we switch over to, again, we have our big shield. We have a fire area around you, and then a fire blast. So we're going to try this out. If we get into trouble, we'll switch back to our greatsword real quick, or rather our Eviscerator. Okay, so here's our okay. Now what we're doing here, we're actually cleaning out. And there's our Aegis of Fire. Oh, we leveled up, so that was a sudden and very helpful heal. Let's get rid of the last of these guys. Okay, so we can trigger our Fire Aegis and then just firebomb these guys. I don't think I'm a big fan of this particular one. I don't find it particularly useful. I guess it's okay at clearing out enemies, but I don't know why you'd really want it when you could just use a lot of other weapons that do more. It's nice to have the big shield there.
Target neutralized.
But I don't see why you'd ever use even on a ranged build. I don't know why you'd use this over the plasma pistol or the or any of the other options. Just doesn't seem like a good weapon. I don't have a bolt gun, unfortunately. So I'm going to go ahead and put my flamer back on this bar. And on the other bar, let's try out the Power Maul. Now this one is a little similar to the weapon in Darktide. It's got a stun, armor breaking single target, wide strike. This is a crowd control area effect attack. Pulverizing strike. This is another area effect, crowd control, and another area effect crowd control. So it's basically a lot of crowd control on this weapon. But its main attack is still single target, like smashy smash. Let's get down. Actually, we're all out of inoculator charges, and that is not good at all. So let's get down here and get this medical supply real quick. Inoculator refill. Okay. So if we're using the single target attack, we can smush these guys pretty readily. Now, I really love this weapon, Dark Tide, and I haven't used it very much yet in Martyr, but I'm going to try it out. I'm hoping that it's as good here as it is there. Oh, boy. Chaos Knight. Oh, no, that's a... that is a Decimator. This guy is bad. I love these things on the tabletop. Let's get out of here. We're biting off more than we can chew here. We did level up. Okay, so now we've maxed out melee combat.
Maim the heretic, slay the treacherous Xenos, banish the fork-tongued demon spawn.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to finish this up with oh, we got some heretic Astartes plague ring in here. Okay, so there's our single target. And we can beat this guy up pretty good with him. With that, you see how tough the Space Marine opponents are in this. But now, this is what we're going to do. Is boom. Now there's our number 1 ability. There's number 2, and then right click, number 1. We got one more over here. Who is this guy? Reborn. I guess that's some sort of cultist. We got more opponents coming, so let's try this again. Okay, there's our jump. Spin around. There's our arc. Right there. Right click. And that's your power maul. And the last one is we've got the Halberd. And the Halberd is fairly clearly the Celestial Sacrosanct weapon. I guess the power maul could be the mace one, although I haven't seen a shield to go with it yet. Now, while we're on this last one, I'm also going to show off the Dominion armor. Let's switch to that one. It's yellowish. I really don't like the color of that very much, but also I never noticed it, but it changes her hair too. We'll go with the Dominion armor here. Now, this one, what this does is gives you a dash, like a quick move forward. I don't like this one as much because you get multiple dashes, but they don't do it. They aren't like the jump where you do a bunch of damage. So if you're basically your cone effect attack, a triple strike, a hook pull. This is interesting, and a spinning blow. So let's try the hook pull out. Oh, we do it. Kind of messed it up there. Okay. There's our blow, and there we go. That was the number 2 ability. Let's try that hook pull one more time. Oh, that's a trap flare. I'm going to work on that because that's fixed in position. Will it? Yep. See, yanked him in there. There we go. Triple strike. Toxic entity. Oh, I guess they spawn when that thing dies. Okay. Okay, we'll dash in. Ooh. I messed up. I mess up a lot. I'm not going to claim to be any kind of elite gamer. Let's do one last thing, though. We'll try out the Celestial armor. This is very cool looking, more silvery gray. And I don't know about the hair thing, but maybe it's not a hair thing. I think it's a thing on her back, actually. But this is perhaps a little more appropriate for the Halberd, Celestian. Let's get that. Oh, he's a chosen. Okay. There's our triple strike. Okay, this is a purge all enemies mission, too. We have to kill everything on the map. There's our triple. Alright, so that is pretty much it for the weapons that I have available. I do have a few more, but stick with these. Oh, I forgot the Dominion armor. The Dominion armor gives you the shield, like I showed you with the rod earlier. So we'll try that out. Should be a big shield. There it is. Okay, see, that's a really big shield. It's very, very effective. This is not a bad choice at all. I like the Seraphim a little better because of the utility of the leap. But yeah, Chaos Chosen are pretty good. I'm going to do some videos at some point on my Night Lords once I've got kind of through what I want to talk about with the Sisters. We're probably going to go on to the Night Lords next, since they are a little bit more, I guess, unpopular Chaos Space Marine faction. They've always kind of suffered from less effective, Legion trait hasn't been really the greatest. We are going to try to do some of that. There we go. Infernal Pistol and Chainsword. I'm going to be sticking with them for the foreseeable future. Although I may go for a two-hander because, or the Blessed Blade, since I'm more melee oriented. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment down below, and click the notifications bell for more great World Wilderness Wargaming content, and I will be back with you again very soon.